Alright, so this is part 2 of my houseplant tour. This tour is also going to include my orchids, so if you haven't watched part 1, it's going to be linked in the description. You can also find it on my channel, and yeah, I'm just going to begin exactly where I left off, so yeah, enjoy. I also want to input, I was going to put it at the end, but I doubt everyone's going to stay till the end because I talk a lot. But if you have any video suggestion ideas that you want to see on my houseplant and orchid channel, then just comment them and I will probably make a video on that because I need some video ideas. So any comments and suggestions are very much appreciated. But yeah, enjoy the tour. Then in the next room we have this Monstera Deliciosa from the bigger one. But I don't know what happened to this one. This leaf was already damaged when we got it. But the new leaf, I think what happened was it was downstairs and it got really cold near the window. So the new leaf grew in kind of weird. But it already has like a bunch of new aerial roots. So it should, by summer, it should perk back up. And near my mom's sewing machine, we have my latest Hoyo. I actually only have 2. But this one's Crimson Princess and it has new growth. It was $10 on Marketplace and it comes with this cool pot and drip tray. And yeah, I also wanted to get a Hoyo Crimson Queen. The queen has variation on the edges while the princess has it kind of in the middle of the leaf, and I think the queen is easier to grow, so I got the harder one to grow and I didn't really know that before I purchased it. But it already has a new growth, so should be fine. And then I have this just regular Hoyo Carnosa, and it has like a bunch of new growth everywhere. It has this random long vine, and yeah, I've taken plenty of cuttings from it as well, so that's why it's just a little smaller, but it used to vine literally everywhere until I chopped it. So walking downstairs, I have these plants on the sill here, but they're kind of high up. So I'm gonna pull each one down and discuss about them. This is my mother's spider plant that I got all those other plants from. And I got this a very long time ago, like quite a bit of years ago from a nursery, and it was only $1. It was like, they had it outside and I don't know why it was only $1, but I just picked it up and it was a lot more full than this, but I had it in a very low light area and it just kind of collapsed, and I also wasn't watering it, so the growing tips dried out. But once I repotted it and started properly watering it again, these sprouts have all come out the center, so it's going to be okay. It's very hardy. And this is my banana plant that it's like a dwarf banana, and I actually divided it recently, and there is one in the kitchen which I'll show. And yeah, I just need to find an outer pot for it. This pot's kind of big, so I always have a problem where I don't have outer pots and they just sit on like little lids and stuff like that. These are both of my Epiderm Orchids, and this one has some buds on it right now. They are both a lot smaller because I took a bunch of divisions and cuttings off of them and got rid of some and sold some, so that's why they're a little bit more sparse. But yeah, they're going to start sending out the buds, and I'll have to get some pics of the blooms. But yeah, they also have some new growth. And I have this plant I got. It has like orange blooms and it grows kind of tall, and I forget what the name of the plant is, but right now it's not looking too good because it's winter, but I'm sure once I put it outside in spring it'll look a lot better. But I originally got it as a house plant. I think it's just one of those plants that needs to be outside in order to perk up again. And then I have this super tall Dendrobium nobile that I don't think I've ever shown. It has like white blooms, and then I think there's like a little bit of pink or yellow in the middle. But it has these keikis. That one's growing a new shoot, and then this one is its own. And yeah, it doesn't really look like it's doing that well. I still need to repot it. I'm just waiting for spring. Oh wait, it has a new growth on it. Just realized that now. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a new pot soon. And we have my orangey, peachy yellow Cattleya. It's a mini, and it has put out these 3 growths since I got it, and this one randomly has 2 leaves, but also it has a sheath now, so I'm gonna wait for some buds hopefully. But yeah, this is the only Cattleya. I've had 3 ever since I started orchids, and this is the 3rd one I've gotten and the only one I've managed to keep alive. And it also has lots of roots. I have this random succulent that was not doing well in low light, and also the top kind of broke off. So I put in a higher light area, and I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do about it, like propagating, because it's looking kind of weird. But yeah. Yeah, so I don't really have I don't have good light for succulents, and when I do, there's other plants that are already using that window. So last plant on the windowsill is this Dendrobium nobly. This is the one, I think I've had it in a few videos, but it has this keiki with really long roots. And then another one here, and I did take off a few, and I grew all of them in smaller pots, and those got bigger, and then yeah, I got rid of those as well. But it's not really looking good, but it still blooms. And I think it might need to be repotted as well. It's kind of dry too, but it's winter, so. So these are mainly all of my Phalaenopsis orchids. And a lot of them are blooming because they were outside in fall. So I have a few of these were also the same ones that were blooming early 2020. So I have this mini purple one, the peach one. This time it put out 2, but I think the other one, the buds just fell off because the plant's not very strong. It only has 2 leaves because I left it too long outside in fall, and it kind of got a little bit of frost. And this one definitely needs a repot. And I think this one does too. I'm not even gonna pull it up. And then I have this light pink one that hasn't actually bloomed since I got it, but finally this year it did. It actually wasn't even, I think it fell, it was in the greenhouse and it fell out of its pot. So it wasn't planted for a very long time, and then I put it in bark and it just started blooming. And then I have this one that my relatives gave for a birthday, and it's reblooming with 2 spikes, and it was blooming in June, so it's reblooming already in January with 2 spikes this time. And then I have this small mini. This was one of the how to save orchids with no roots. This is one of them. I don't know why it only had 2, why it only has 2 buds, but then there's another mini here, and it's the same as that one. They were both clearance for $2, and I've had them for quite a while. And then this is the pink one that was blooming in that video. Let me pull it out. I probably should not put it on the piano. But it has 2 keikis on it. I left it too long in fall outside, and the leaves got like frosted and burnt off, but it put out 2 keikis. I thought the whole plant was dead, but it kept 1 leaf and it started growing new leaves in a keiki. But yeah, that was the pink one that was from that video, but it was a really busy time and I didn't have time to bring them inside, but it should be fine. I'm sure by next year it'll be reblooming again. And then this one I got for free on Marketplace. Someone was getting rid of it because they didn't know how to take care of it. I think it has some sunburn, but it's fine. It's not spreading. And then back there, my sister got this one from work. So I'm just trying to like save it. And I have another one that was blooming earlier, a few months ago. And it just finished and it's starting to grow again. And I have another one back here too. So it's kind of hard to explain the color combinations because they're kind of like, some of them are mixed, so. And I don't know if I'll have photos of them, but yeah, these are the ones that are now in bloom. And then I think I have one more in the kitchen. And I almost forgot that there's one right here on the piano. This one is also free from Marketplace, and I just took it out of this pot to look at the roots, and I think it's fine. I'm just gonna pot it up. But for now, it's sitting in this vase. And so now we're in the kitchen. We have this big Fiddly Fig that my sister got on Marketplace. It was $45. I don't know why it was so cheap, but it's really tall. It's probably like 4 feet tall, and then with the pot, probably like 5 feet tall. And it has 2 branches. It has the main one and it has a small one here. It already is growing 2 leaves, and I don't know why this one's drooping, but it was just watered today, so. And I don't know what this is. I think this is like a extra steak. And then my mom started some vegetables, but I'm not gonna go through those. And then on the plant cart, we have a mini white bird of paradise that was from Canadian Tire. This is my sister's, because I already have the one in my room. This one was $15. This is my last orchid. This is the polka dot. It's like white with pink polka dots. I've had it in a few videos a long time ago. And it has some buds. I don't know why it's blooming late this time. And it had 2 spikes as well, but the other one just stopped growing. And then we have another alocasia poly. This is the $5.99 one from Canadian Tire, and it did put out a new leaf. And then I got this silver squill through a trade. I traded with spider plant, and it's starting to sprout. It's kind of like a succulent bulb plant. And then I got this Adansonii cutting, Monstera Adansonii, off Marketplace for $2. I think it's narrow form, but I'm waiting for it to start splitting. So hopefully with the light it'll start splitting. And then I have a Xanadu from the 90% off Home Depot thing. And yeah, so this was like $1. So hopefully it starts also getting its fenestrations. And then I have a banana that is split from the bigger one I had upstairs, or on the way down from the steps. And then down here in the middle, we have a Marble Queen Pothos cutting that was done through a trade. My sister traded with her a red prayer plant. I have an African violet. The rest of my African violets died, but I have this purple one I got when I came back. It was dying. I repotted it, and now it's firmed up again. And then I have just more spider plant propagation plants. These are Calladium Bulbs I got for free from Marketplace. They were all with, it was with the ivy and 2 of those orchids in a planter. So they were starting to go dormant, so they finally went dormant, and it looks moist because I just watered it. It was like bone dry. And I have a random wandering Jew cutting in there. And then I have, it's kind of hard to go inside the cart, but I have Pilia peperomias that was part of the 90% off Home Depot thing, and it's already growing with a baby in it. And then this is a plant I got on Marketplace for only $5. It's called Kitten Ears. It's kind of like a Tradescantia, I think, and it actually feels like kitten ears, and it has purple blooms. So I just potted all 3 cuttings up, and there's another Marble Queen that came with that cutting, but it wasn't ready to be potted. Hartley Philodendron cuttings, and in here, those are the string of hearts that I got with the string of spades. It was $5 for these leaves that I am propagating. They already have roots and they're sprouting, and then inside that bag they're propagating is some butterwort from my bigger plant. I kind of dropped it and 2 leaves fell off, so I'm gonna try propagating those. And then more spider plants. I just have a lot of spider plants all the time. And this is after I traded like a bunch of them. And then I have a wandering June and Nuke that is dying. It was rotted when I got it, which is kind of unfortunate. A watermelon peperomia cutting I got for free with some plants I bought from a lady on Marketplace. And then Hartley Philodendron cuttings. And I think that is all for the cart. And then we have another greenhouse. This is my sister's this time. She got it off of Marketplace. I did the same rock pebble tray kind of thing. She got a Rattlesnake Calathea from Canadian Tire on clearance for $5. And it already has a bunch of new leaves and new sprouts. And then she got a medallion for $13.99, but it is starting to look a little bit weird. I think it's a soil issue. Like the soil is really compact and they need to breathe, so because we've been keeping it moist and humid, so we will focus on that another time. Repot probably in spring. And then on top of the fridge we also have some red prayer plant cuttings. My sister got a huge plant for $15 and she just chopped it all up because it was looking kind of scraggly. So now she's rich in red prayer plant. And in the main floor bathroom we have more of the prayer plant cuttings that we have potted up. They look a little beaten out, but they will grow. And then this is the pot they were in. They were not in drainage and it was very heavy and wet, so they were not doing well. But hopefully it starts growing and getting a little bit more bushy. This is the living room table, and this is kind of where I keep all of the spider mite affected plants because I kind of had nowhere else to put them. But this is my philodendron. I think it's a moonlight. The newer leaves grow in kind of light and then they fade to like a lime green kind of chartreuse. But ever since I got this, it did put out this leaf. I was cleaning it, so there's tissue on it. But yeah, I was treating it and then I cleaned it, so yeah, it also had this leaf that was sunburned, I think. But yeah, I really like this plant. I'll try to get some footage of it when it puts out another leaf, but it was $10 on Marketplace, and yeah, I just put it in this outer pot. So next to it I have this weeping fig, a variegated version, and they grow quite slow. I've had this one for a while, like quite a few years, and it's only grown a little bit more. But yeah, it also had some spider mites on it, and it's in a clay pot. Maybe I should move it to a plastic pot. But yeah, that's my weeping fig. Next to it I have this Stromanthi Triostar that I got for $7 on Marketplace. I also forgot to mention that this was, I think, $7 or $6 from a local nursery, but I got that like a long time ago. This is more recent, but yeah, the leaves are just folded down because it's the day. And this one had spider mites pretty bad. The two new leaves that grew turned brown and crispy, and I had to cut them off, and then it grew a smaller leaf, so there's that. And then I have this boat lily I got from a trade with that purple heart that I showed previously. And this boat lily is growing quite nice and quite fast, and I love how the undersides is purple, but it did have spider mites as well. It also has some new shoots, so I think it is a fast grower. And the last plant I have on this table is this green prayer plant that I got through a trade, and it turns out it had powdery mildew, so I had to chop all the leaves, and 2 of the other plants died. Now the new leaves are very small, but they're starting to grow a little bit better, so hopefully this makes it. But yeah, this is my green prayer plant. And I have the rest of the clay pots that I got in the same $20 deal, and yeah, as you can see, there's like a lot of pots, so I'm gonna find some plants to put inside of them. I'm gonna begin showing my sister's house plants. This is the steps going down to the basement, kind of like the entryway, and she has this money plant, golden pothos cutting from my big one. I don't know why it grew so large. It was actually dying at one point, but then it just randomly put on a bunch of growth, and then a smaller one with a little bit of higher variegation in it. This was a snake plant that rotted. It's currently rooting in water. I'll show that later. We have this Arrowhead Vine. The Arrowhead Vine I got from New York. I think 3-4 years ago, and it was, I think, $3-4 from Costa Farms. It was from Walmart, I think. I don't remember. And then this Tetrasperma, another one. This one was only $10 this time, from a kind of plant business nearby our house. So that was a good price. And then beside the Tetrasperma, we have a ZZ plant that I got from a little leaf cutting. I think this is the original. It took forever to grow roots, but then I potted it. It grew like a new shoot every year. One year it grew 2 shoots. The first year it grew that one. Second year, and then third year it didn't do anything. Now I think it's 4th year, and it's put out these 2 shoots. So it's a very slow grower, but whatever. It's just kind of sits here. And then, yeah, that's the ZZ plant. Then we have another macrame with a red prayer plant. Actually, there's 2 cuttings in here. And then baby Monstera from my bigger one. A Hartley Philodendron that I got this like a very long time ago. This is the one that I have all those cuttings upstairs from. I think this one is actually the original one, and I've had this for like probably 10 years now. Or maybe like, okay, not 10 years, maybe like 8 years. That is from a trade. This is from a snake plant trade. It's just a regular snake plant. This is like a little aloe that my sister got from work from their big aloe. There's like a little baby. And then this is a crispy fern crispy wave fern from the 90% off sale at Home Depot. So it was $1. And then this, or even less, this is a wandering Jew from that other plant you saw on my vine shelf. And it's just, she always pinches it and takes propagations. And oh, there's even more behind there. And then this is another baby spider plant. A lot of these are just like plants from my bigger plants upstairs. And then this is just a random succulent. And then this is just a random cactus. Actually, no, wait, this is from the cactus show that I went to. And I got this cactus because it had like these cool blooms on it. I think it was $10, but it just started going downhill and I don't know how to fix it. And then we have the green Shamrock. This is one of them. The other ones are actually, I think, in the greenhouse or outside somewhere. But the bulbs actually ended up surviving winter, which is kind of weird. I didn't know they're that hardy, but yeah, so we don't have much of the green one. I have a lot of purple ones. And then this is a Haworthia that, I don't know, it just doesn't really grow. It just sits here. And then this is the snake plant that was rotting. I don't know if this is a good way to fix it, but we're gonna see if it grows roots. And then we have a Christmas cactus I got 4 years ago, or 3 years ago. And it did bloom this year with a few more blooms, but it doesn't really grow much, and it starts blooming less and less as the years go by. It's actually a Thanksgiving cactus, not a Christmas cactus. And then we have another one of those Chinese evergreens from her friend's plant. And then some ivy cuttings. This is the ivy that those came from. And then Hoyo cuttings from my bigger Hoyo. There's another purple Shamrock. They're kind of, both the Shamrocks are small right now because it is winter, but they will probably get a lot more full and bushy when they're not dormant anymore in spring and summer. And then we have another Philodendron Zanadu from the 90% off sale, so it was like $1 something. And then this money tree I've had forever. I don't know why I guess these weird spots on the leaves, but the new growth is growing in fine. And yeah, it's just in its pot. And then a little sad aloe here. I think it needs more light. But yeah, that's all for the plant shelf. And then the little plant hanger. All the way in the bathroom is the last plant that I'm showing, which is this calla lily that's going dormant. It looks really disgusting and sad. It's just in the bathroom on the shelf that no one ever looks at. I'm going to trim all that foliage and it'll grow back in spring. And as I was editing, we actually got a few more plants because Canadian Tire had some more rare plants. So I'm going to add these to the haul. My sister got an orbifolia. It was $8. My other sister got a begonia maculata, I think. It doesn't look as dark, and the spots aren't as pronounced as I would have thought, but it's apparently Immaculata. I don't really know anything about begonias. And that was $13.99, which is like really good. This rattlesnake I got was $15, and it's huge. I need to still take it out of the bag. And then my sisters each got a string of turtles, which were $5 each. So that's just a mini haul that I'm adding. But yeah. And another edit. I got more plants. Some really nice person gave me these free plants, and I think they're very old. Like, she's had them for a long time. So yeah, this one's just a golden pothos, and some of the stems are very thick, which is kind of cool. Like, there's a few in here that are like very much more thicker than I have on mine. So what I'm planning on doing is chopping and propping the ends because they are looking a little bit scraggly, and then growing it up a moss pole, and I have the perfect spot for it. She also gave a few other plants. She gave this orchid and this Christmas cactus. I think this one's rotted a little bit, but I can take care of that. These ones are still rooted and fine, and nice pots too. And this hibiscus. And then she also gave this really large ivy that I moved to my vine wall. Alright, and this is the end of my tour. This is all of my plants that I currently have. And what's funny is that I'm never going to stop getting plants. Like, as you saw, I had to edit it twice because I got 2 more hauls of plants. Like, it's crazy. So I'm sure after I upload this, I'm going to get more plants, but they will be shown in future videos. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for, if you're even like still watching, thank you. And if you have anything that you want to see from me, like any videos that are houseplant related, or even anything, like I'm down to make any videos, just comment them and I will most likely make a video on it. Oh, thanks for watching.